had one of the worst migraines I think I've ever had in my entire life yesterday. So I didn't. But I'm sitting on the porch this morning trying to crochet a little bit. And we replaced some boards. I've got to paint, got to stain. I just don't feel like it right now. Yesterday was not a good day for me. It was not a good health day. So I've got to go later and let the doctor do some blood work. And she has to do every month to check me for being on that big thyroid med. So we'll go do that later. And I'm just chilling. David, he said, if you're going to be up here another day, just don't do anything to make your headache come back. So I'm not. Three. We're going to make the big foot and show you how it goes together. 4, 5. So if you pop in, say howdy. 6. It's really a pretty morning if you hear all the birds. Pull your magic ring tight if you can. These magic rings sometimes get the better of me. With the velvet Chanel yarn, sometimes they are very difficult to tighten, and I end up having to do a couple because I break them. There it goes. Got it. I got it. Anyway, I had a horrible headache yesterday. Sick all day, throwing up all day. Doggone it, now then, stop it. I love the look of chenille yarn, but I do not like it when it gets stuck like this. And also, I just washed my hands, and my hands are wet, so my yarn's sticking to me. So yesterday, I was very sick. I wanted to say hello to everybody, but I was so sick. Hello. And so I didn't even, I stayed in bed all day. I was sick all day long. My disorder won yesterday. It got me. I was down for the count. I was out of it. I was so sick. One of the worst migraines that I've ever had with this disorder. That wind's still a little chilly here this morning. It's plumb warm under the sun. It's plumb cold in the wind, in the shade. I'm crocheting a Bigfoot foot. It's really cute how it comes together. I wanted to show you. Chanel yarns irritate me to death, though. But it was such a pretty morning, I thought I'm going to sit on the porch. Now it's a little chilly. I wished I'd brought me a sweater. But anyway, get back to yesterday. I was super sick yesterday. I think it was weather, or it could have been stress, because yesterday David worked in Nashville. Should have brought a stitch marker. Oh well, we'll be okay. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. This fit's really cute. I'm fixing to do the toes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Give me just a second. 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 24. Okay. Now is where the cuteness starts to happen with the Bigfoot foot. It's really cute. The stupid circle's opening back up. Gotta do a triple crochet. Hang on. I did that wrong. Hang on. I started this pattern the night before I got sick, and I thought it was still in my head, but apparently I have slept since then. Which is okay. So I just made one toe. The way she makes these toes, this pattern is so flippin' cute. I'm glad I feel good enough today to enjoy doing this, because yesterday I did not know if I was going to feel very good today. It worried me. I still haven't ate. I need to attempt to do that, but anyway, David worked in Nashville. He's been working in Nashville. When the guy hired him in August of last year, he guaranteed David 3 or 4 years of solid work under the contract that he had for the linemen to put the fiber optic into areas they had struggled with getting it up, or to update it where it needed to be updated. Promised David 3 or 4 years of work. So David took the job. He had been working at his other place of employment 9 years, and they had started hiring some really questionable characters. So he just wanted to get into a more controlled environment that he could control. So he, in a small crew, he thought that would be a better option. So now, since August of last year, David has worked in Kentucky and Tennessee. In 10 months, he completed enough contracts that apparently it fulfilled all of the 4-year contracts drops that this guy had to redo. Either David worked himself out of a job, or that guy lied. Now, my husband is a worker. I will say that. My he's a worker. So he may very well have just sped up and done some stuff faster than they thought it was going to be done. But what happened was the guy sent him to Nashville and didn't tell him that that was the end of the contracts, that there would be no more work. So when David called and said, I'm done with Nashville, where do I go next? He said, oh, that's it. I'm done. I don't have any more. No warning. David said, well, why did you work me? He worked him 1 day this week. David said, why did you work me 1 day this week when I should have just been let go and put my waiting week in for unemployment while I'm looking for something else? And the guy said, I didn't want you to draw another week on me. Y'all, I don't need to meet this man, because I will not have nice words to say to him, okay? If y'all were with us during the winter, you know how rough he made our winter by not wanting to work if it had done anything even remotely cold. You know, he just was like, oh, Jens can't work today, even though, yeah, they could. Other crews were working, but he has other amounts of contract on the other crews. So if he finds somebody that works, it's in his best interest to let them work, because the earlier they get the contracts done, the more money he gets to pocket. So he gets the contract money, and if he gets it done early and below the cost, he just gets to pocket the money. So he doesn't care if you don't have a job. He just cares that you got done early and he gets to pocket cash. I am so not happy with this man. So David's put in 50 blue zillion applications. He should not be at this age having to play with people that are employers like that. But sadly, Appalachia, you know, they don't like industry to come in. They say we're a tourist area. So county commissions and zoning boards, they shoot down options of new industry. And here we go. This is what's happening. 1, 2, 3, 3. This is cute. Let me pop these toes out and I'll show you. It's so flipping cute. My crew's all at work, but I thought I'd pop on and leave a video for him because I'm likely going back down the hill after my doctor's appointment. I had to be up here for court Tuesday about that woman that was high on meth and was shooting at me. Appalachia. And then I had to go to my doctor's today. So after this, I'm going back down the hill. And I get down there and I just catch up on sleep and rest and get busy. And okay, let me pop the foot out now and pop the toes out. I normally bring a little wooden spoon to pop the toes out with. It's easier to push it in there. But this is so cute. The way she did these toes are so... And I gave it... She only puts 4 toes on him, but I always put 5 because, you know, in the lore, they say Bigfoot's related to man or fallen angel or something. So I don't know. I put 5 toes on him. I think it's cuter. Look, I've got to pull that tight. Don't worry about that. Look at that little foot. This is the Bigfoot's little foot. Beep, beep. I love this pattern. Oh my gosh, the way people's brains work and their art. I think I'm going to crochet this one and then let Dave have it, since he buys my yarn and stuff. If I ever crochet something I think is really neat, I'll give it to him and he can put it in his Etsy store. And if you've never been to my husband's Etsy store, he's a trapper tanner, and his Etsy store is Hillbilly Heart Decor. And so he does trapping and tanning. He does, he puts some of his furs in there. And if I make something really cute, I give it to him. Oh, this yarn's killing me. I'm not worried about David finding work. He's out cutting firewood right now. He's a worker. It's just irritating that employers will do that to people. It's very frustrating. Four. So then you do one more loop around so you can attach, because you have to change colors, you can attach the leg hair to it. But this is Bigfoot's little foot, or Bigfoot's big foot. And then the way she attaches the leg hair, it actually curls up over the toes and around the cut. It's so cute. Hi, Simple Girl. Hi, Margaret. But this is such a... I got to tap my magic ring on. This is such a cute pattern. And it was literally like a couple bucks on Etsy. And people have gone gaga over it when I've showed them the pictures of the pattern. So I know that somebody will likely want to buy one. But if I make this one, it turns out good, I'm going to let David put it in his shop. But, oh my gosh, I made one leg in there the other day. And I decided to go with different colors, so I put it down. I'll finish it for me later. But this is his Bigfoot. I think he's so cute. But anyway, so David's out cutting firewood. He's hoping to hear from a company that he put in with. I can hear they've got logging trucks at the sawmill and big trucks at the concrete plant up the road. I can hear them, if y'all can. But so he's job hunting again, and it's the guy didn't even tell him after you get those Nashville drops done, I'm done. He didn't even tell him. He just wanted him to work his butt off and get the drops done quicker so that he could pocket the rest of the contract money. And then adios, boys. I don't need you no more. Oh, this man irritates the holy bejesus out of me. I mean, just ungrateful piece of crap. He starved us out over the winter, swore that things would be better in the summer. Lied. Said, oh, you are working enough to build back up your savings. Lied. Told David when he hired him he had at least 4 years of contract work. Lied. David is a straight arrow. He does not quip. He does not lie. He tells you how it is. He works hard and he expects good pay for it. And this man has made my husband probably the maddest I have ever seen my husband. Which is not been pleasant because he doesn't get mad very often. So when he's mad, you kind of know something's wrong. Gotta remember how to do this. Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. So let's make his hairy leg now. Doggone it. Anyway, I was horribly sick yesterday. Had a horrible migraine. Had I not had this doctor visit, I probably would have just gone on back down to the farm and just stayed in bed all day. My throat is, I sound funny because I threw up all day yesterday. I was so sick yesterday. And it just was a bad day. It just was a bad day all around. And it doesn't take very long to work this pattern, parts of the pattern up. Oh, why did I do that? If you do it right and don't get it mixed up. That's one of the things I've been really surprised with is how quick it goes once you get the rhythm of the steps down. And I wish I could remember the store I bought this off of in Etsy because she must be awesome at patterns. I think when I have a little bit extra money, I may look and see what else she makes because, you know, I only like to do like wildlife stuff because if I send them with David to festivals and stuff, I don't want to step on the other plushie makers' toes. So I only crochet stuff that they don't crochet. And I think this would be just absolutely, and he's going to have butt cheeks. It's a big booty Bigfoot. Juicy booty Bigfoot, that's what it is. So I'm really eager to see it done. But I think that people will get a kick out of it. So if you've seen the cheeky turtle, that's what its butt's going to look like. So I'm getting Chanel yarn all over me. That's lovely. It's lovely. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of days. And I sound like I'm a smoker for life, and it's just where I was so sick yesterday. It'll stop eventually and soothe out. Yeah, yesterday was a rough day, man. My heart did funny things yesterday when I got really, really sick, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to be stuck going to the emergency room if it won't chill out, but it chilled out. But I was super sick. Still don't look very good today, but I feel a whole lot better. Every once in a while I have one of those big migraines, and there's supposed to be severe weather here later. every once in a while I have one of those big migraines that just absolutely waylays me, and this was one of them. And it ain't nothing you can do but lay there hurt and throw up and cry. So that's what I did. I've had them since I was very young, since like second or third grade. And there's, my maternal grandfather died of brain cancer. So at the very beginning, it freaked Mom out. So she took me and saw a bunch of doctors. And then when I got older, they would do like MRIs. And they've never really found anything to justify this until I got diagnosed with that neuromuscular disorder. And they thought, well, maybe this was like the first presentment of what was lurking. And then when I had that trauma, it just kind of jumped out and said, here I am. We don't know. I mean, they just are trying to, I think, patch a storyline together that makes sense to them. But I've had these my whole life. They're not as common as they were when I was younger, especially when I was in the chemical and hormonal range of life. They're not as bad as they were then. But they still get the better of me, and I don't enjoy them. It's very rough on me. And I always go one over and do one extra one just to hook the little fuzz in. So that's how you do the fuzz around the top of the toes and the leg. And then you just start crocheting the leg. And the first round around, you can do like back loop only to make it leave that little fuzzy bit alone. It's difficult though because I've got Chanel yarn. I wouldn't use Chanel yarn if you don't want to cuss. So it's a pain in the buttocks. Oh, see? Pop it out. One. Two. Once you get on a rhythm, you can find them. Anyway, if you like this pattern, it is the Juicy Booty Bigfoot on Etsy. And I've not found anything with it that isn't very easy to follow yet. She has tons of pictures. You can always message her. She seems to be a very nice lady with a very wonderful crochet skills. So I would heartily recommend her. I will try to link the pattern, link her store later in the community post if I can remember. I wouldn't suggest using Chanel yarn like I am. I just wanted them to look furry fuzzy, so I've given myself an extra task with this, but it is what it is. I thought it would look good, so here I am. My bird bath is going this morning when the sun hits it. I think most of my seedlings made it through the cold snap. I think they fared better than I did through this weather. So that makes me happy. I was worried I'd lose some of my plants I already had out, but they seem to have made it. And so I don't know when I'll come back on because I think after my doctor's appointment I may just head back down the hill. Don't use Chanel yarn if you do this. Everybody be cussing. That's the hardest part of this pattern is the back loop only line after you put the hair above the toes. And it's enough to make you want to smack somebody. Oh no, I think lately I stay there anyway. They're loading up a concrete truck. I don't know if y'all can hear him beeping and scratching up there, but he's loading up the load of concrete. And they scratch everything and pull it down with the truck before it starts mixing, and they send them down the road. So there's a concrete plant up there and a sawmill. The sawmill basically is just for the family's personal use now. They might mill something every once in a while for somebody, but not often. Oh my goodness. Do not use Chanel yarn. Use a yarn that you can see, because if you use Chanel yarn on these toes, you're not gonna like yourself very much. You're gonna be like, why did I do that to myself? Elizabeth told me not to, and I still did it. There's something very fragrant blooming in my yard, and I'm gonna have to walk around later if I can stand it and try to figure out what it is. It smells delightful. I want a Carolina allspice tree. I want a lot of things, but I can't afford it. Let me get this row done, y'all, and I'll converse for a little while. But if you do try this, the Juicy Booty Bigfoot on Etsy, do not use Chanel yarn. Do not. Don't do it. It's a trap. Which I think she did it with just worsted weight acrylic, and he looked really cute. Okay. Where those toes were, and you've got so many strands of yarn, it's hard to tell where you're going. Right now the truck's taking off. They're backing another one into load. I must have a lot of orders. I was going to order a load of dirt, finish filling up all my tubs, but now since David got that news at work, I'll just hang on to every extra penny I have for food and a raw bill that may land, because I'm not going to be hateful. If he's struggling or something, I'll help out. Because normally the last year or so where I've lived on the farm a lot, you know, my money's my money and his money's his money, but I mean, we both split the bills because my name's still on the house. But I'm also being highly aware of the neighbor, because they are going to true bill her on into criminal court, and they said she wasn't very happy about that and to watch my back. That may also have been a reason I didn't fare well yesterday and had that massive migraine. And I guess her lawyer had a really rough time with her, because his face just was not, his face kind of said it all. His face kind of said, the woman, I can't work with her. And I was just like, well, at least now y'all know. When I said something's wrong with her, I wasn't lying. She needs help, but I don't know at this age she's at if it will ever find her. But as long as she's been in the criminogenic behavior realm, I just don't think it'll find her. Big wasper. The machines that go ping. Listen, if I've ever stressed anything to y'all, do not use Chanel yarn. It's better. And of course, my eyes are not the greatest today where I had that migraine, but do not use Chanel yarn on this pattern. And every once in a while, Chanel yarn will make like a little hole where you have to go back and stitch it. Okay, now we can go back to normal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, corns mint. Y'all hear me? Corns mint. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, my stomach is still not right, y'all. 15, 16. Gotta pull that one string in. Push his little toes back out. Now you're gonna make his leg a little smaller and then keep going up. Isn't that cute? That is so flippin' cute. I mean, it's not stuffed, but isn't that cute? She only put 4 toes on him, but I put 5. 1, 2, 3. Don't use chenille yarn. I mean, I want the look of it, so I'll fight through it, but Lord, if y'all do this, do not use chenille yarn. Man, what is that smell? It smells awesome. It's a plant. I just don't know which one it is. It makes me feel like I'm 8 years old in my granny's yard in summer playing. Okay. 6, 7, 8. 9, 11. Okay. Now I have to pull that on in. That's where I hooked in my color, and I need to pull it back in. It will not be there when I finalize it. Somebody up the road. Maybe I should just fix it now. The FedEx man came earlier. So I told you, I think I won farmland, but they had all of the prizes that I had chosen were no longer available. So they asked if they could just cash out my winnings. So they gave me like 60, 70 bucks for what I had won through farmland, which that's fine. I was fine with that. And where's the other one? And then I already had a few bucks saved together. Then I got, they also gave me a bonus coupon for my prizes being out, along with the regular coupons. I have been looking for some way to set the microwave off my prep station so I have more room when I cook here, because I have so much room at Mom's now I don't have any room here, and it kind of messes me up. I love this foot. I love these feet, and that's going to go up into his leg. I love these. And what is that? Is that, I don't even know how to say that name, but hello. It's not honeysuckle. That's what's got me. Honeysuckle hasn't even thought about making an appearance yet, which is weird. It smells rosy, but I don't have any roses blooming right now except for in the side in the backyard. I don't know what it is. It smells awesome though. It may be my peony. Maybe my piney over there starting to bloom, because it's the first year it's going to bloom. It finally got big enough to bloom. 2, 3, 4. This yarn's driving me nuts. Nope. This is a misstep for the scale yarn. I'm going to cover it up. Can y'all hear the birds? There it is again. It's gotta be that penny. Hang on a second, I'll show you into the yard. Okay, now it's shaping up into the leg. Is that not cute or what? That is so cute. The honeysuckle here has not even thought about making, I mean, maybe in the deepest of fence rows, but like other places it comes up here aggressively, it's not even thought about it yet. And I've been like, wow, where's the honeysuckle? Because it's not even thinking about it yet, which is very strange. But my azaleas did wonderful. So I'm hoping everything else is going to do wonderful. I've got a butt ton of seeds out if they manage to live past all that cold we just had. And because I wanted easy stuff that would grow on its own when I'm not here, that when I am up here, I can enjoy. So I'll have flowers I can enjoy at both places. And I'm basically this summer, my endocrinologist last week called and she's decided to get more aggressive with my thyroid. So she doubled my thyroid medicine dose. And so that was lovely. Got an ant on me. That was lovely. So we're handling that amongst everything else. And, so there's a possibility I may be in for thyroid surgery very soon. So just trying to hang on and get through. Boy, I look horrible after having that migraine yesterday. I apologize. I look plumb awful. And I have on makeup because I'm supposed to go to the doctor later. They delivered the kitchen thing but anyway, I got that kitchen thing for free. By the time I cashed up my coupons, where they give me the money in place of the items that I'm supposed to win, there's Sabrina's cow skull, and all the stuff I had banked, I got my kitchen thing for free. So I got a hutch like thing to put my microwave in. I mean, it's not like Lane furniture or anything. It's like Bassett, but I mean, it's cute. It'll work. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's that penny. Let me show you. Oh gosh, let me stand up first. That hurts. I'm just sore from barfing my guts out yesterday. It was a horrible day. Oh, my flags are wound around my flagpole. Hang on. Oh, okay, let me turn this around and I'll show you my porch. Overlook the mop bucket I mopped the other day. There's my thing. There's my piney coming up right there. My apple mints. And there's my azalea. There's my mop bucket. Here's my front porch where I've been sitting. That's the new stuff we stripped that I have to paint. I have to stain. These little clear tubs right there, they light up at night. There. There's my little fountain. When it gets full sun, it gurgles, see? I gotta get some mulch at some point, but I ain't gotta. The rose is pushing my trellis over. All of my irises are in bloom there. I got like a stained glass hummingbird flag. All my irises are in bloom. My bottle tree is doing wonderful. And it's got a little bit of honeysuckle trying on it, but no blooms. Like there's no blooms, and about maybe a fifth the honeysuckle there usually is. There's my cow on a bicycle. I gotta get mulch and clear out the baby Rosa Sharons. My azaleas are done for, so they're going to green now. And then down there, I've got veggies and that growing, and they're doing really well. I got morning glories to go up that open spot where the tornado knocked a post out. I've got morning glories and roses started there, and if the roses do, I'm going to transplant them. Then I've got that bucket's going to be filled with other vegetables. I've got cucumbers in that one, going to grow up all over that vine, all over that trellis for the vine. So that's where we are. The barn lot needs to be bush hogged, but you know, we normally have David's brother do that. We'll get to that eventually. But, and oh, and up there in Benny's little grave, up there, I planted a butt ton of morning glories, and I've got a trellis to stick up there. It fell the other day in the storms, and David set it aside, but I'm going to put it back up. It's a folding trellis, so they'll have lots of stuff to climb. And these are lights that come on at night that make my porch not as dark. I have the darkest porch. It gets the evening sun, and that's about all it gets. Put this back. Yeah, I'm thinking it must be that, I call them pineys. That's what my granny called them. I'm thinking that's probably what it is because nothing else really smells like that. I have other stuff planted too. I didn't show you that. Hang on. Oh gosh, getting up now. Let me see here. There's the big box they delivered. So let's see. I have a lot there, a lot hung there, and a lot hung there. So you can see in that trellis right there, I have got vine and black-eyed Susan. And I think one sunflower in the front if it grows. And in that right there, I've got all mixed color morning glories to grow up. And then I've got the trellis. Look how close that is. I found out that that's illegal and that it could mess up with our homeowner's insurance. So I'm going to have to broach that discussion. And I haven't filled my bird feeders yet. And that's the maple stump that the tornado took out last year. But, yeah, I've got tons of trellises and vine and stuff. I cleaned the whole porch. This is the only thing that David has to take to the building. Everything. Oh, I've got morning glories back there too. Everything else got cleaned, and maybe I'll get around to painting it this year. So I did put my new patio covers on. These are super inexpensive on Temu, and everybody's having a fit over Temu, but I'm here to tell you, find a really good store, and you find a store that has most of the things that you want to buy. No, it's not sassafras. We don't have a lot of sassafras here. Oddly enough, I used to eat sassafras leaves when I trail ride, and I'd bring home roots to boil. I was weird. Nobody knew what, you know, that, of course, that's one of the first drinks they had, and my spider plant's in the way. But when I trail ride people and I'd be eating sassafras leaves, they'd be freaking out, and I'd be like, try them. And then they try them, they're actually really good. They'd be like, oh, that's actually really good. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I eat them. Yeah, sarsaparilla. I love sassafras leaves. They're good. They got a good flavor to them. I'd share them with my horse, but I mean, I'd eat them. So that must be that piney smelling. When I go to the doctor and get off the porch, I'll bend over and smell it and see if that's what it's smelling. 4, 5, 6. Oh, and our mower broke. It's lovely. So we're going to probably just pay David's brother to mow for us this summer. And so now it's going on up to his leg. Is that not cute, y'all? That is so cute. It'd be cute if it was stuffed correctly, but I'll get it stuffed later. That is so cute. So yeah, our mower, the drive belt broke on it. We thought it was just a drive belt, and so sent it to Jonah's grandpa's mower shop. He called me about it yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was, the frame is bending so bad. I mean, it's old. It's like 20-something years old. We've had it forever. And he said, even if I fix it, he said it could, with the frame looking, he said it's going to like give again. He said, I wouldn't put the money into it. So David's brother's going to go scrap it, take the motor, and then go scrap the rest. And take that as partial payment for another mowing. And then he's going to mow for us this year, and then next year we'll probably just try to find one of those rent-to-own 0 turns somewhere. Not a rent-to-own, but you know, where you put on payment plan. And because this yard is entirely, the barn is entirely too big to not have a riding mower. This is so cute. I'm in love with this thing. Oh yeah, well we thought about painting it blue to make the woodborne bees confused, but they tend to figure that out anyway. So we thought about it. But I have redwood home, and boy, that would clash. But David sprays for those big bees anyway. Let's go. I just think this is so cute. I just think this is so cute. Yeah, we have bought the new stuff for the waspers, and of course I have every kind of flower in the world in my front yard, which doesn't help. But we finally found a thing that keeps those freaking mahogany waspers away, so it's much more comfortable here this year. I don't worry about getting stung. Finally. And there's a woodborne bee. Every once in a while you see one, but they don't stay long. I am just smitten with this pattern. I'm in love with it. He is going to be so cute. He punched that toe out there. He is going to be so cute when he gets stuffed. I just can't wait. Today sure beats yesterday. Yesterday I felt like crap. Now it's starting to cloud up with some. Excuse you. It's starting to cloud up with some storm clouds, so we're probably going to get storms here soon. It's supposed to be severe later, but I've got to go have that EKG and stuff done. So, but I'm going to talk to her about how bad my flipping oh, it's made from chrysanthemum flowers, Margaret. I'm going to talk to my doctor about how bad these flipping headaches are. Because we don't want to mess up my honeybees and stuff that come through, so we always spray certain places where the waspers go, and it's made out of chrysanthemum. I didn't know that they were so allergic to chrysanthemum. I mean, it takes them out. They won't come back. They'll move their whole nest. Because we have so much here that we eat and stuff planted around. That was one of my first concerns was, excuse me, you know. But it's kind of a moot point because since the house over here burnt down, we've had to spray a butt ton of stuff because that place was hoarded. And they had a huge rat and roach problem. And so we knew that since that burned down, everything that survived that is going to be looking to go somewhere else. So we had to get on the phone with the pest control people and have them come out and spray. And they had to spray a couple, 3 times because they're like, yeah, you're going to have to stay ahead of this. And I know this is going to sound self-indulged, but since that burnt down, of course, she's not even been back. But since it burned down, it has cost us several $100s to make sure that the problems over there don't become problems over here, you know. And it seems like we've had a bigger hit from their house burning than they have. It's like they didn't even notice. It's strange. Y'all know the problem I've had with this. It's not felt right from the beginning. It's not felt right at all from the beginning. Yeah, I think that's that. I think that's that piney I smell. Man, it smells good. Plant 5 more. No, I won't. They're expensive. But sure, I got that one. Did David get that for me from my birthday or Mother's Day a few years ago? I got it as a tiny one. He said if you can make it live, it'll be pretty, and I've made it live. But we had to call them out to do a bunch of spraying, treating the ground in the bottom of the house and stuff, because you don't want somebody else's problem to become your problem. And everything's going to move when they don't have people to, they rely on the people. And sadly enough, roaches eat skin cells, and so that's one of the biggest things they eat. And so without people around, they're not as likely to be there. And I was like, they ain't moving here. I've done too much work, and we spray regular and had a contract for many years when the kids was little, and we just have done it ourselves, like the last several years. But after that, it was time to call in the pros, because I was like, no, sir, that is not going to become my problem. So, but the amount that was over there, the firefighter said, they were like, y'all will be overwhelmed in a week. And so I immediately called, and the pest place was really nice about coming out. But I did tell him, I said, listen, I said, over there is where I have my herbs, my vegetable gardens. And I said, so use something that is not going to harm. And he was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to have to be pretty potent over here by this fence line. I said, I understand that. I said, but let me know if there's any conflict. He said, no. But it's sad to say, I've had more of a consequence than I think they have. She's moved off, hasn't even ever come back, doing fine apparently wherever she is. That's all good. And they haven't even offered to pick up any of the trash. The firefighters pulled out the windows so they could spray in the rooms. And I put that block on the fence so the trash wouldn't blow through the fence and keep coming in my yard. I ain't gonna pick up your mess. Feel sorry for you, but it ain't my mess. So there's his leg, y'all. So it's just been a nightmare. It's absolutely been a nightmare. And now it is quieter here. But it's like, do you want to live next to somebody that doesn't maintain the property, or have the property have this happen and then have to look at I don't know which is worse, y'all. I don't know which is worse. There's the first leg. It needs to be stuffed. So his foot kind of rounds over and comes up. This is a really good pattern. And you could probably even adapt that to make an elephant leg. I always look at patterns that way and be like, what else can I make from that? But with chenille yarn, you get little holes. Sometimes you have to go in and stitch afterwards, especially when you have to do decreases or increases. So I have to look for those. And I don't have any down here yet, but I'll find one or two, I'm sure, when I stuff it. I'll have to go back in and pull and stitch. But this is so cute. I really love, I had an ant on me. I really love the way she did these feet. They are so flipping cute. So anyway, I've got 2 packages that need to go out to Ophelia and to Ashley. And since David is looking for work, it may take me a little while to get them in the mail, because we're going to be pinching pennies because of this stupid feller. I mean, give your workers a clue. If they've only got a day of work left, if they've only got 2 weeks of work, they're supposed to give you 2-week notice. He should have said, hey, we only have 36 more contracts. Y'all need to be looking at other stuff. I'm not going to have anything once we're done with this. I'd have been like, okay, at least you told me. You lied about the 3 years work, but at least you told me. He didn't tell him anything. Get no warning whatsoever, and then worked him 1 day this week, so he didn't want him to draw an extra week of unemployment on him. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to abandon my spot because David fed the cat up here this morning and the ants are crawling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Magic rings and Chanel yarn, they don't mix. They don't mix. But I just wanted Chanel yarn. I'm bullheaded. Just had to have it. I'm paying for it now. Turn around. Leave me alone. One. I count. It's that piney. I smelled it then. I got a good whiff. That's pretty. Oh my gosh, it is so nice. That is. Oh, I used to have a rose bush from Granny's. It died though, and it made me smell. It made me feel like I was in kindergarten again when I smelled it. Now this one makes me feel like I'm 8 years old playing in Granny's backyard. Big crow. Got tons of those this year. And I think it's because they're picking stuff out of that burnt house. They're annoying too. Fly. Do you hear them carrying on? Lord have mercy. I must be upset about something. Okay, I got the other foot started. We're going to move inside. My hair is blowing in my eyeball. Oh, goodness. And David has fed the cat this morning, apparently. And check and see if there are many storms popping yet. My back, y'all. My back is out where I barfed so much yesterday. Tell me that ain't weird. I got a fan in the window. It's not really super hot here today, but I run the air conditioner more than I have to. Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah, Margaret, we had a big oh yeah, there's storms starting to pop. We had a big discussion about my health and how sensitive I was to stuff. So, and so we really have only done the dividing line in that end of the house. And then we've done this other in the chrysanthemum crap that's. And he left a recipe with Dave of homemade stuff and 2 or 3 options of other like more natural things we could spray to kind of create the rest of the boundary. But it's sad that you have to do this when somebody lives in such conditions that when their house burns, everything's going to move to your house. It's sad that happens. No, it wasn't borax, but I know that he put out diatomaceous earth the other day. Ow. And like right around the edge of the house, the footer, what do you call that? The perimeter around the house. But we're trying to be careful with stuff on the far side because that's our herbs and veggies and all that, my flowers and stuff. But I'm here to tell you, the rats are huge over there. I thought it was a cat. I thought it was a cat. It was a rat. You ain't moving here. No, sir, you ain't moving in here. Nuh-uh, not a chance. No. So, it's sad that people live like that. Foundation, thank you, Margaret. My brain's I had a horrible migraine. I'm not functioning today, very barely. Starting to unswell, if y'all can tell. My big goobity gook saying, starting to unswell, and I'm thinking the weather was what has had me all messed up for about 2 months now, and my body's trying to come back. But yesterday was a fight to the finish. I was sick, so sick. David, he came in a couple times to check on me. And, normally when I get sick, he doesn't know how to handle it, so he just goes and works the first shift. But he kept coming in to check on me because I was so bad. And Mom was like, "You want me to come get you and bring you down the house where I can sleep a little bit harder? I don't have to listen and pay attention as much." Because here I'm trying to constantly pay attention to who's around and what's going on. And I said, "I can't be moved, Mom. I'm too sick." And I said, "I'll come down after my doctor's appointment tomorrow. I don't want to have to come back up the hill," which is a drive in itself. I don't like to do that. And I was sick. David did take my Jeep in for the brake appointment that I had scheduled, which was very nice of him, but I was just so sick I couldn't do anything yesterday. My throat is so sore just from puking. And I've had these since I was very young, and they've never really, they weren't as bad, but the transitional months for weather is normally when they're the worst. So I'm assuming that's what's ticked them off for these storms building today. So I'd say it'll be storming here later, but if it's not super bad, I'm going to go and skirt on down the mountain. If it's super bad, since I have no brakes, I don't want to be on wet roads going down the hill braking. I may go down the morning, but either way, I've got to go down the hill. New brakes, wet road, curvy mountain. Yeah, they're horrible. I started having them in third grade, second or third grade. So it's around 85, I guess. 84, 85. About 85, I guess. Yeah. That was really the first bad one I had. First, violently ill one I had. I'd had a couple before that, but so probably around 85 is when they started. With a vengeance around 87. Big time. And all the doctors, the Amish doctor did the most for me. He had me on a certain food diet, and that did pretty good as far as keeping things away from me that triggered him. And then as they kind of let the food laws out of the bag in the U.S., everything had so much in it you couldn't really avoid it anymore. After I got through the chemical hormonal times in my life, it seemed to calm down. After my hysterectomy, it calmed down a lot. And so I was like, okay, it was hormonal issues and all that stuff's probably what it was. And now they're only truly really bad when the weather transitions. That's when I get clusters of them, but they're normally not as violent as the one I had yesterday. So it's probably stress. David's boss bringing that news, having to be in court all day. Although I did crochet a skein of yarn in court, and them telling me what they told me, handling this over here, and then finances. I'm still okay. I shut down everything with AdSense, went through everything, made sure there were no open accounts, and they finally said, okay, it's closed, and it had the thing back on the YouTube partner. To start growing, you need to make an AdSense account. You don't have one. I said, okay, we're going to start over. Click to make an AdSense account, made the AdSense account, put it in for review, and they said, you already have one. Why did you make one? Holy crap, I don't have one. I just had deleted them all, made sure that there were none open, and it told me I had to start one. I'm so mad at YouTube. Either they're morons or they really don't like this channel. I don't know. David's just kind of like, he's like, it would be nice, but he's like, it'd be nice to be able to have some kind of little income stream from what, because we do enjoy sharing, and it would be nice, but I don't think they're going to let that happen. I just really don't think they're going to let it happen. I tried Imitrex, and it made me actually sicker than the migraine. But I have those weird reactions to medicines a lot, so it's just me. I'm lucky. But with my thyroid, we don't want me on a bunch of medicines for a bunch of different things. We kind of want my body on the least amount of medicines possible, so I'm just trying to hack everything. But I think it was this weather, and we were in a barometric ridge line yesterday for a long time, and I think that's what got me. The pressure line got me. I did not enjoy it. I still feel like I'm in a tunnel, but I'm fixing to have to leave and go, and they're going to do an EKG because of the thyroid medicine. We've upped it, so I have to have an EKG. And I don't know if she's going to pull blood today or not, but we're going to talk about these migraines because they're getting me bad. Bad. Really bad. I don't look as bad in here as I did. I looked horribly translucent outside. I don't know why. But yeah, we may eventually, when I get my thyroid, either we do surgery or it miraculously comes back to life. When that gets leveled out, we may try another migraine medicine because I'm getting really tired of how numerous they're becoming again and how violent they're becoming again. So yeah, I'm all for trying something else when we get to where I can. So I don't enjoy them. Should I take? I don't think I should take crochet with me. I don't think she'll be very long today. No, I don't have to be hooked to 15,000 lines. I'm not going to take crochet. Okay, well, I'm going to get up and get ready. Find my shoes. We carry everything in bags because you're back and forth and you have totes. You know, it's hard to remember where you put everything. Because I wear them and then I think, put them back by the bag. So when you load up your shoe bag, and then I take them, inevitably will take it off somewhere, and I'm like, where to put them? Where to put them? So I'm going to go hunt my shoes down. Oh, Michaela. No, I'm not, but thank you. I'm having a rough day today. Got a cow lick right there. Must have been a cow in my sleep licking me or something. But I want to jump in, just crochet on the porch for a few minutes, show you this pattern that I'm really, really enamored with right now. This Bigfoot it's just so flippin' cute. Where'd I put him? Oh, it dropped on the floor. I'm just really gaga over this pattern so far. And I can't wait to finish it. Now, she only had 4 toes on hers. I give mine 5. I just think it looks cuter. I did one with 4 toes, and I didn't like it as well. I wanted 5. So I gave him 5 toes. The one with 4 toes looked like this. I didn't like that as much. I wanted 5 toes. So I started again, and I'll finish the 4-toe one later. I'll make him for me or something, but I like the 5 toes. Makes his foot look bigger. So, but I really like the way it slopes up over the toe and then goes into the leg. It'll look really cute when I get it stuffed. And I'm thinking you could use this to start an elephant pattern. It could be an elephant foot. Just don't decrease and just go straight up. I like to learn things like that so I can use them. So that's one thing I was also happy to see. I'm going to find a sweater to wear, though, because that wind's chilly. I should try to eat something just in case they pull blood. I'm scared to try to eat something. Really scared to try to eat something. But anyway, keep it in your thoughts. I'm going to go and take care of this doctor's appointment and then give me some recoup time. If I go down the hill tonight, I'm just going to sleep for a day or so and get caught up where I was so sick. So if you don't see me for a day or two, don't think nothing of it. I'm just recuperating. And I'll pop on when I'm able. And if I actually finish some of this, more of this pattern, I may post pictures to the community page, the post page, so that y'all can see how it makes up, because it's terribly, terribly cute. And again, it's the Juicy Booty Bigfoot on Etsy. No, I haven't even seen them, Margaret. The aloes. Now they have aloe water around here, but I've not seen any aloe soft drinks. Of course, we don't get a lot of this stuff that other places get because they don't ship it to us, because we're out in the middle of nowhere and we're like an hour off an interstate, so they don't give us a lot of the cute stuff that they put out elsewhere, which irritates me. Yeah, the storms are starting to pop. Gallatin, and from Bowling Green down to Gallatin is starting to pop a line, so it'll probably be storming by the time I get back home. Maybe I got my headaches over with for the next few weeks, though. Maybe I won't have another. Hi, Sally. Oh, you come on just the very end, Sally. I'm sorry. Crocheted a really cute pattern. Told you about David's employment, this man, this employer is just I got nothing nice to say to the man. He's caused us so much grief. And David took the job to get away from a factory that was starting to hire people with drug issues because they run big enough machinery that he could kill them and everybody else in the factory. And they didn't seem really to care. And David was like, I've got to get out of this factory. Especially when the guy behind him would go smoke his crack pipe in the toilet and they come out and like try to start beef and a fight with David. And David would be like, what the crap, you know. And so this guy guaranteed him 3 or 4 years of contract work. I think it was 4. And David just finished everything in like 10 months. Of course, David's a worker. And now this guy didn't even give him warning. But when he finished Nashville yesterday, he said, well, I'm done. You're done. That's all I had. A little bit of warning would have been nice. And I smacked this man. So David, who for almost a decade had the same job, has now in less than a year been put into 2 changes. And he's like, I can't. He's like, I don't enjoy this. He's a creature of habit. He does not like change. That's why he doesn't like when I get very sick. It's wigs him out. That's why we don't do well when I get really sick, because he just distances himself because he can't deal with it. And I understand that, but it still irritates me, but I understand. And I've never seen him so unhappy. And it's just sorry people in positions of power that don't care how they treat other people. And, you know, so he's not a very happy person right now. I told him to not worry, that the good Lord would put him where the good Lord wanted him, and that this may lead to the best job he's ever had, and we just needed to have a few stumbles before, you know, found the place he's supposed to be. So, but I don't worry about him working and making money. He's off cutting firewood today. The man he wakes up and he has to hit the ground working. That's just the way he's made. So I don't worry about that. I just feel bad that people don't appreciate him, because he is a really good worker. He's been clearing land since he was 12. Been logging since he was like 15. You know, he only knows work. And but the people around here, they don't have to be kind. They don't have to follow really any rules with their employees, because there's still so many people that just will need a job that they know that they can replace them in 5 minutes. So they don't really care. And he jacked up 5 weeks of unemployment back in the winter where nobody got to draw any unemployment. That's why we went through savings. And I think it's 7 weeks altogether. But he kept jacking them up after the waiting week. He messed everything up. None of them got to draw unemployment. David's done told him, you mess up unemployment starting next week, we're going to have problems. So we're hoping if he doesn't find something to move right straight into, which he's put in several applications, then maybe he will not mess up his unemployment. It'd be hard to live off of it, but at least we live simple. But we don't get any aid. Like, we don't get any food stamps or anything. Everybody else is so quick to run for that aid. And I'm like, just narrow down what you spend your money on and put it where it has to be. And, you know, it's your responsibility to feed yourself. So we're just going to try to eke through, you know. And I told him, I said, wherever I am, if I'm down the hill and I've been down there, if something happens, you know, check with me. See if I've got, you know, a little extra. That's fine. But he turns his hand at everything, so I'm not super worried, but I feel really bad for him, because at almost 50 years old, you should not be being treated like this in the workforce. When you've established and worked your butt off your whole entire life, you should not be being treated like this. It's just sad. But this is what they do in Appalachia. The coal mines did it forever. The other mineral mines are still doing it now. The trains, the railroads did it for a number of years. Now they're a little bit better. It's a land of forgotten and mistreated people. I mean, we really are treated horribly by employers, because they think everybody here has no other option. You can't drive out of this place. You know, I drove 3 hours or more round trip when I was working for the state, and they knew that it weighed on me heavily. And when I came up for a promotion to get one county closer to home, they held it over my head and said, well, we want to give you more responsibilities if you want to lessen your travel every day. How about, gee, you've been working your butt off and driving for 8 years. No, that's okay. We're going to let you have this promotion to reward you. No, they didn't. I had to earn it. I hadn't earned it with my 8 previous years. So that's how I ended up with 400 something offenders in multiple counties. But that's what employers do around here. They gaslight you and make you bend over backwards. And like I've said many times, I didn't buy stock and Vaseline when I was little. So I don't like people to do that to me. But I feel really bad for Dave, though, because he is just a hard worker. Anything he does to the best of his ability, and he enjoys working. And I feel bad that this man has given him the last year that he's given him. Didn't even say thank you, because the faster the drops got put in, the more money that man could pocket. Because if they get put in, he gets the contract money. If it gets put in before and he saves all that money, he gets to pocket it. So he got to pocket a lot of money. How about some severance pay for banking you some roll, man? No. I mean, he's just not going to tell you till the day you finish everything that you don't have a job now. I got treated better when I worked at horse barns shoveling poop. Wish I could still do that, man. I wish I was still working. If I was still working, David could basically do what he wanted to do. So I also feel bad because my health kind of has put a lot of pressure on him, because I was the breadwinner. I was supposed to remain the breadwinner, and this stupid disorder took me out. And I get very frustrated about that. But I mean, can't fuss about it now. It's just what it is. Just got to go forward. But he'll find something. He's always really quick to bounce back and find something, because people do know he's a good worker. But I just feel bad for him. So toss him up some good energy. He's really struggling. It's bad to be such a good man. You know, and people will fight over hiring you. No, don't work for them, work for me. But then when it comes right down to it, they won't treat you worth anything. Just sad. Okay, I'm going to go find my shoes and get stuff together. I'm going to go to the doctor. Y'all have a good day. And like I said, if you don't see me for a couple days, I'm going back down the hill and going to sleep. So the secretary from the DA's office was just watch your back. She's not very happy. Getting true bill to the grand jury. She's not very happy. Watch your back. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go back down the hill. I was like, I'm a nomad. I have to bounce so much. I don't think she could find me. I'm up here for doctor's appointments, and if my aunt or brother's in, and hopefully I move enough that they won't be able to tag me. They don't know where I'm going to pop up at. I don't really keep a specific pattern. So maybe I'll be okay there. Of course, I always pay attention. But I thought that was funny. Sally, honey, you be careful. Don't worry about that. Don't even, you just listen and drive, honey. You're fine. You just drive. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't ever do that over me. Lord, no. Kids can watch this whenever. I'll come back and read the comments later. It's fine. But y'all have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Toss us up a prayer if you don't care. This has been the roughest year of our entire marriage. The last year has just been everything. And it's been external stressors that have caused us to have to respond. And it's a pain in the butt. But you have to respond. Otherwise, those external stressors are going to stay and continue. And I can't allow that. So I have to handle them, and it's caused a lot of stress. But we'll get through it. I am belligerent and stubborn. We'll get through it. But it's going to storm this evening. Watch the storms if you're in the areas of the storms. Take care of your family. Try to find things to be happy about. My yard looks awesome this morning. The peony smells great. My plants seem to be doing okay. And I had a nice sit on the front porch crocheting this morning. I'm happy about that. And I'm going to go take care of my health stuff, and then depending on the weather is where I'll end up later, and I'll check in as soon as I've rested, but I will post pictures as I crochet. So I'll see you in a day or two. Y'all take care. I love you, and thanks for spending time with me. Be good and have a talk with the Lord before you go to bed every day. Most important thing. You want to see the foot again? Isn't it cute? I need to stuff it. Isn't it cute? And so he sits down a lot, and it sticks out in front, which is what makes it so cute. But you know, I like the way that she brought it up over the toes and then narrowed it. That is so cute. I can't really go into depth about it because it's a paid pattern. But it's the cutest paid pattern I've done so far. So, but it was just like $2, $3. It wasn't. She didn't want a lot for it. So, but I think I'm probably going to sell him. So if you like the Bigfoot, it'll probably go on David's Etsy store, because I've started me one. I'm doing him first, and then I come back and do the good one. So I learn on mine, and then I come back and repeat it on the other one. So the good one will be up for sale, and I'll keep my one that I make all my mistakes on. That's what I do. And then I've got snuggle slugs to start for the babies. I've got their yarn all in, and I'm going to start my snuggle slugs for the babies. So I've got some stuff to focus on. We'll get through this. It's just, this is a growth period in life. It's going to be painful, but it'll be worth it. It's what I have to tell myself. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Be careful today, and I'll check in soon. Bye.